Hey y'all, it's Melissa at Messy Missy Creates. I'm gonna make my May journal. I have lots of, I remembered to pull the ribbon this time. I always forget that part, and I actually remembered. So I hope I didn't forget something else. But anyway, I dug out anything that I thought might match. So, have a little bit of a mess here. I have some that I have a preference to and some that is just okay. A lot of pink. I did decide on this paper. I love this green daisy, or the green, this combination. But I had already picked out my paper, everything I was doing for this one. I know that I will use this one later in the month. I might use this one for like August or September. So I'm going to put this one up for now. It actually happens to be the back side of this. Ooh. Oh, okay. Well, I like this one for the inside of that paper. I did not even look at it, but I only have one of these, so I can't do that. Okay, scratch that thought. I'll put these away for maybe September, remind me. And get those up out of my way. I love using, because... okay, one thought at a time. May is usually full of flowers, and it's the height of the garden season here. I'm in Florida. I'm in the northwest part of Florida. And, it's still April, and we still have we have flowers already blooming, but by May, they're so full and lush, and they stay that way through June. Some July, it starts getting too hot for even some of the heat-loving flowers here. So I try to get all my florals in May. My bright, and I've been in a mood for bright colors anyway. I, just real quick, let me see if I can do this without making you dizzy. I added another shelf, so some of my stuff is in different places. It's not the way I want it. Nope, it's not going to do it. Okay. Scratch that. Did you take your Dramamine? Sorry about that. Okay. I was hoping it would show you. I added in front of me, I had a little shelf, a low shelf, and I found at a thrift store last week, I found a tall, kind of narrow shelf, and I'm able to have more stuff right in front of me. Yeah, it'll mean reaching, but rather than just all around me. So anyway, I'm hoping it gives me a little bit more room. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do for the front cover to save time, because I'm doing my papers a little differently. I'm going to try to get this all in one video. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I'm going to try. I went ahead, for time's sake, because you've seen me do this so many times, I went ahead and cut down my Triscuit box. If you're not familiar with this, I cut it to 6.5. And then I do about a 1/2 inch spine. And all I do is make a second score. I have this. You hear me talk about this all the time. With these thicker papers, it probably won't show that little crease right there. That was already in the box. Ooh, this one. I picked out a greasy one. Okay. It doesn't matter. Oh, I was going to give you the height. That's what I was doing. So, it's usually just a hair over 9. Yeah, it's not even 9 1/4, but my pages most of the time are 9 inches tall, so it works out perfectly. So I am going to do this, and then I'm going to do my pages. I'm not going to use my plain white papers. I know, don't fall over. I hope you're sitting down. I may try again I'm going to try the scrap, I'm going to try to do it a little bit more junk journal style. Not entirely, but some. And I'm going to use some of my scrapbook papers. And so, like I said, I had already, with this paper in mind, had pulled my papers. And I forgot about the green paper. So, there's that. So, all right, let me find one of these I can start gluing, and then tell you all about that if I still want to. Okay. So this is going to be my inside. I remember this too. The last couple videos, I've been forgetting my inside cover. You can tell me when we get to that part. I love this. But if you're not scrapbooking, you know, this is a 12 by 12. If you're not scrapbooking, how do you use these? I mean, I did think about using this as my cover. I need to cut off that branding strip. I would use this as a cover, I think. And I almost did. But then I found this, and I love hibiscus. I'm into the pink and orange right now. I love all the bright colors. These, I only have, actually, my hibiscus dye. Okay, I was supposed to be gluing while I was talking. Well, I have to cut first. So, I have these two beautiful, large hibiscus. I've had them for years. They will sometimes overwinter here in Florida outside. They were in heavy concrete planters, like big heavy concrete planters on the front porch, and it was the Tequila Sunrise. If you've seen that, that type of, or that color variety, maybe that's the right word. Ooh, and I love that. Okay, so that was what I had them in, and I propagated them, and I made 2 more hibiscus last year because we had a really deep freeze. And I knew it was going down to lower than it normally does here. You're not done with that. Okay. I'm going to cut this in half. I think I'm going to do... these are a little bit bigger. Do I want them on my front cover? Sure. Or I could do it like this. Well, okay, I haven't found a place for everything yet. You know what I'm saying? So, I can't put that too far away because that's my glue. So if I cut it this way, I have these 2 big, I'm going to lose part of this one, but it doesn't really matter. Is there a difference? A little bit, not much. Okay, if I do it this way, I get to definitely keep that, yeah. I get to keep that flower, that big flower. So, back to my hibiscus. So, ooh. Yeah, measure once, cut twice. Measure twice, cut once. I did not do that. Okay, I wait and cut off my strip because my height is not always the same from journal to journal. I apparently lost my journal. Okay, get yourself together here. Come on. All right. So, anyway, now I'm going to have, you know this, I'm going to have a gap. I've got all this ribbon in my way. My pokey tool. Yeah, so I have a gap, and I use that tape. Okay, I just knocked everything down, and it's not going to quite be wide enough. I have, ooh, I could have used some duct tape that was wider. I don't really like duct tape. I don't like the shininess of duct tape. Anyway, okay, we'll improvise. We have ribbon. So I'm going to glue on here. Look at me acting like I haven't made a journal in, what, a whole month? So, anyway, so these hibiscus, knowing that I could not put them in my greenhouse over the winter because we couldn't move them. I mean, they were just physically not, we were not able to move them. So, I didn't look at where I need to glue to. I need to glue to just on this side of the T. Okay. So, anyhow, I propagated them and they did really well. So when the other ones died in that really hard freeze that we had 2 years ago, I think, and where it stayed at like 19 for 4 days or something like that. It was under a hard freeze. It was like 19, 20, and it doesn't usually do that here in Florida. Well, I'm in North Florida, so we get a little colder than South Florida. But we still don't usually have multiple days of a hard freeze. Okay, I don't cut this height-wise so that I only have to match up 2 sides. if you cut it if you pre-cut the paper, then you have to be perfect on on the 3 sides. So I know you've heard me say that before. So I just thought I would, you know, for those in the back that didn't hear me last time, that's why I do it. And just burnish this down really good. And I may round the corners this time. I don't know. I don't know. Because then if you round the corners, you have to round all your pages. Blah, 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 blah. Anyhow, so I propagated the hibiscus and they did really well. I replanted them where the others had died in those concrete planters. And they did pretty well. However, this last, okay, I'm going to save that for maybe a pocket. And this is going to be my front. Let's see. I'll make myself a little note. This is the top. Not that it will matter other than the direction of the paper. So anyway, then this past year we had another hard freeze and it wiped them out. Again, even though it was only like a day. They're very frost tender. And I forgot to cover them. If I had covered them, it might have helped, but it still got down to like 19. So sometimes when the temperature gets that low, it doesn't matter if you cover them or not, because it's not just the frost, it's the temperature. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. I know you're not here for gardening, but I love my hibiscus, and I don't have one right now is what I'm trying to tell you. I am not left-handed. I recently, over the last few years, had to learn how to use my left hand for more when I was paralyzed on my right side. Those of you who've been with me for a while went through that with me and all my rehab stuff. It was not pretty. I always say I only have a left arm so I look symmetrical. You know, it has no function other than just making me look symmetrical. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. I do see a glue blob right here. And burnish that down. But yeah, hopefully I get this all in one video. And I'm trying to get it out on the 1st. I always end up missing that mark, or I'll do it on the 1st, and then by the time I upload the video, sometimes it takes me a whole day to upload a video. My Wi-Fi is really, it's not good. I am grandfathered into an old plan, and every time I call the company and think I'm going to upgrade, they're like, are you sure you want to do that? Because you won't get this rate. Are you sure you want to do that? And then instantly I'm not sure anymore. Don't you hate it when people do that? I'm like, well, I was sure when I called you, but now I'm not sure. Okay, so I need inside papers. That means I need this back. Okay, so my question was going to be, after I hit everything is moved just a little bit, so I'm a little off kilter. I wanted to see how that would look as the inside cover. If not, this is very busy, but keep in mind it's going to be, yeah, I like the smaller pattern. It'll be fine. It will be fine. So let me cut this branding strip off. Oh. Yeah, see, all my stuff is like closer to me, so I need room. But I will figure that out. I will adjust. I just kind of put the stuff on it yesterday when I got the shelf up. I didn't like purposefully organize it. Nope, I put that away too soon. I hear you. Yeah, I do. I hear you. Well, I had myself together, and then I lost it. It's like, you know, about what they say about the time you get all the ducks, your ducks in a row, they wander back off. Okay, T for top. So I'm going to put a little pencil mark right here, only so I don't get too much extra glue on it. I'll go ahead and do one over here. It's just approximate. Nothing more, nothing more. Nothing very technical about this at all. This is just a cracker box, and I thought about doing it out of a different, like an old book. I have so many old books that I need to use and want to use. But I really had wanted this year to be all the same size. That was my plan in the beginning of the year. Now, I know that plans can change and things can change and you can change your mind. But I also have a ton of these Triscuit boxes saved up for such occasions. And, you know, we already have those anyway. I don't have to buy them. But I kind of wanted a shelf, wanted them all on the shelf and them all be kind of the same size. So I'm going to stick to it. To me, it doesn't really matter what the outside is made of, because some of the old books I would cover anyway. There's some that I wouldn't if I'm using it as just a junk journal. But if I were using it as a monthly journal, then I would cover it. And I'm like, oh, but I like the you know, the front of it. You don't have to cover it. Okay, I did what I shouldn't have done. Okay, I need to flip that over so I don't get glue on my front cover like I just did. And anyway, yeah, one more, and then we're gonna tape it because I always tend to forget that. And then I think we might choose, I don't know if we'll choose the ribbon first or fiddle with the pages first. I'm not sure. I don't reckon it really matters. I always end up not getting to the ribbon because I run out of time. And this time it might take me a little longer. That's why I went ahead and cut down the box. And pretty much chose my papers. I mean, I have a selection to choose from. I don't have to go through all my paper packs. So, there we go. Very good, very good. I haven't been shoring up my corners with our glitter glue like I normally do. And I've had some of my corners start peeling, you know, just from bumping them, like getting them in and out of my shelf or whatever. So I either need to do that now or I'll just have to do it later in the month. It really doesn't matter. Doesn't matter when you do it. Okay, so I have those scrap pieces. I have extra glue in the middle, even though I tried diligently to avoid that. I'll put that right there. And what else? Somehow or another, I got dirt. I feel grit on my mat. Even though you know, when I had everything off my desk, I wiped it down really good. Oh, you know what I didn't do is I didn't burnish that little crease right there. I can feel it, but you can't really see it. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, good enough, good enough, good enough. Okay, I wish that I had some like orange or pink bookbinding tape, but I do not. I'm going to pull off, I'm going to pull this off so that I have a non-stick surface to do this. I'm not going to wrap it all the way around. You can, but I'm not going to. It's not going to quite cover both edges anyway. And I definitely don't want to wrap it twice. It makes it so much thicker to poke the needle through. And I don't have any problem with stability with just one. So I'm not going to wrap it the second time, or, you know, on the inside. I use this. This is like a sports, it's just a fabric tape. It's very sticky, as you can see. Now I'm going to have to reach over you for just a second. Now, if I have to choose between covering the front or the back, I'm going to choose the back because, and I'm just putting this, I've got my cover lined up kind of on this grid, and I'm just sticking it to the mat up there. And I just want to cover this ever so slightly. Okay, the reason why I do that is because this ribbon will cover up that gap, right? And I don't usually put ribbon on the back. So, and I didn't overlap it there at all. Hey, let me pull it up. Wow. Okay. Oh, might not get so lucky the second time. Okay, let me try that again. Because I did not have it straight. Still don't have it straight. There we go. That should work. All right, it's on. Okay, I did it too much that time. That's all right. It's covered. We might just have to use a wider ribbon. Okay, so I'm gonna burnish that in pretty good. And I may even have to do like a washi tape because, okay, these are the ribbons that I had. Like that one obviously is not going to cover it. And I just said I wasn't going to wrap that a second time, but I might have to do a 2 because this ribbon isn't even going to cover it. And I kind of like the orange. I mean, I like the pink. This is not quite, have this large rickrack, which still won't quite cover it because, you know, you have the dips right there. Although I do like that. I have this, which isn't, it matches. It isn't quite as fun. It covers well though. Not quite as fun to me. I have this eyelash ribbon. I'm not even going to unwind it because I know it's not going to cover. I'm going to use this orange embroidery thread to bind it, to pull out some of the orange in here. So I'm kind of leaning towards the orange. We used this one in March. Remember the green gingham with the orange polka dot rickrack on top? So I'm leaning towards this. And it just, I still see some. Okay, I'm going to move all the other ribbon because I think I made a decision. I really liked this. I love all those little pom-pom. These are just the little mini pom-pom things. I really like that. I have some larger pom-pom thread or ribbon, but I'll be darned if I can find it. I do not know. Now, I also have, this is a yellow, but it's a little bit smaller. It's still a big rickrack. And if you don't know that, you can just put the... I just shot at you with the rubber band. I'm sorry. You can put like a hair tie over it so it stays. I thought maybe this would pull out some of the yellow. There's just not that much yellow to pull out. So I'm thinking I like the orange better. I think I lost my rubber band or my hair tie. And then this one I thought might bring out the blue. And it is not the same color blue. That's more of a teal, whereas the rickrack is more of a aqua or turquoise color. Okay, I may have to, unless I can find some washi that will cover that. Let me dig. This is not my, I probably need to dig in what I've already pulled. I have not pulled out my April. Ooh, here's some orange. It's in with the crafty type duct tape. It's in the art section at Hobby Lobby. And then I have but it's like a glossy finish. This is more of a matte finish. And I have it in this green too. I don't think I want to use it, but I have it. Okay, this is kind of a multicolor. That might be pretty. Okay. I'm going to have to get a better, a little bit better washi system here. Soon. Very soon, very soon. Okay. That actually matches that color. What I didn't want to do is go over this where I'm going to be sewing. I didn't want to go over that twice with this thick tape. So this way I can just do, well, I guess if we do the orange and then do the orange gingham over the top of it, it might not look as noticeable. But I want to try this just for giggles, just because I have it. I hope it'll let me pull it up if I don't like it. It's upside down. That actually looks pretty good. Brings out both colors. Okay, well, I think it's kind of stuck down now anyway. So, if I don't like it, I'm going to have to put the orange over it. I normally don't have to do this. I normally can just cover it with, you know, with the ribbon, but I put it too far to that side this time. Okay, so do I want to put it dead center of that? Let's close it like it's a book. Now I think I want to hide the, well, for that matter, now that I've hidden that, I could use that if I really wanted to. I don't know. I might have liked, if I'm going to use the pink, I might have liked the orange better. I think I'll be able to get that off. I'm going to try not to stick it all the way on. Okay, this is not, well, it's not horrible. All right, you know what? We don't have to make that decision right this very second. So we're going to ponder on that for a minute. And then I might let you decide if I don't get to this. How far am I in? Oh my goodness. Okay, I got to hurry. Well, or make it a two-parter in which I will, oh, there was this. This was going to be really pretty on here. I forgot about that one. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of blends with the background a little bit more, except this is more of a fuchsia pink. Okay, so you tell me what you think. Either the orange, the teal, or this multicolored. I think this is one of probably Diane Reevely or Dana Wakely's washi tape. I can never remember which. They do, you know, those like collage type washies. Okay, and then you can tell me whether you'd use the pink pom-pom ribbon or the orange gingham. And now we're going to pick out the pages. Okay, so do think I'm gonna have to make this a two-parter. Oh, and we can put washi in the... We can put washi down here. Kind of like that. What do you think? You're not going to see a whole lot of it. Just want to cover that white tape a little bit. It didn't cover it right here, but that's fine. Okay. But let me know what you think in the comments. If I don't get back to it on this video, which I probably won't, then we'll just take a vote in the comments. I already have this teal color down, but I can put the orange or this one over it. So let me set the tapes to the side. So we have our cover. Okay, that and my rambling took us about 30 minutes. So not too bad. If I had my pages already, I could sew it in and have this done in an hour or less. But we're going to set that to the side because, you know, what fun is that, right? I got to get all these ribbons moved. Pardon. And then get... I have some junk journal style stuff, and then I have... Oh, I had it all together. I have some scrapbook paper. I don't know about that one. That's kind of got a Southwest, but a field vibe to it. But it does have some of the colors. I'm not trying to match them perfectly. Don't know if I like that one. This Top Knot and Sass. I think I'm going to save that one for pockets. I have plants. I might use that. This is just rainbows and 3D glasses and little, what do you call those little animal balloons? This is more pastel. This is some of the same colors. Here's some yellows. I had a hard time finding an orange, but I did find this kind of corally color, or it's a pinkish red, not coral. And then these I'm going to make something else out of. So... we're going to do, let me see if I can put these somewhere where I don't mix them back up and have to sort through them again. And you know what else I could do? I could just put this little branding strip right here. And that would be fun. I mean, it wouldn't be as textured as ribbon, but we do have that option too. There's that one. And yeah, I think if I was going to do it, I don't know. I like both of them. Okay, you tell me in the comments which one you'd use. Okay, I'm going to put these up for a second. And then we're going to play with some junk journal-y type stuff. Now, this one I need to cut. I guess I do have to cut both ends because I want to sew it in. I've already cut the top end and got the stuff, the mail out of it. This is an old envelope I've had forever. Now, I could have just tipped it in the other way, but I want to open it completely up and then maybe sew it into the middle signature. Well, come on. There we go. And, okay, there's that. See, you cut it open, you sew it in like this. And then, if you sew it into your middle signature, it'll be in the centermost part of the thing. And then you can, if you want, glue it back down once it's sewn in. And it will hide your strings, too, if you don't want your strings showing. So, there's that option, which I usually let my strings hang out on the side. Okay, these are just going to be extras. I'm not counting them as pages. I do have just some book pages. They're pretty close to the size of my journal. I'm looking for about 9 by 6 to 6.5. And let's see. I've got some book pages. These are extras. This is, now I could sew, I'm going to obviously have to cut this out. This is just a menu from somewhere. I don't even order from, I don't know where we got it. But anyway, I could fold this up. And I don't know if that would work. Nope. Okay, I can cut it. I'm either going to sew it in here. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sew it in here. And then have this page fold out. And that will actually count as a page. I have a ton of these cards. These are those old Betty Crocker cards. I'm going to probably tape them together. And then sew them in so that I already have pre-made flips. And then I can cover these as I go. I could not find my white masking tape. So the only masking tape I have is this hot pink. Now I can do these with washi. I can do these with book pages. So let me tear out a book page. Washi would be fine too. That may use a lot of washi. And so I'm going to tear little strips. Probably about, you think that's about 1 inch maybe? Something like that. And then you want to just fold it in half. Like that. Okay, and then we would glue like one onto here. I'm not going to glue all the way up to that seam. And then I'm going to glue the other one. I'm going to glue it this way. Because then it will fold like this. Okay, and this will be standing up. Okay, does that make sense? Let me see. I'm making sure I'm still in frame. I'm going to use art glitter glue for this one. This one I'm doing on the back. And again, these are just going to be extras. You know, I've made junk journals before and I'm really wanting to do that again. I don't really, to me, the daily journal is very different than the junk journal. And I typically want my daily journal to be, if it makes sense, if I say cleaner, I don't mean clean as in the opposite being dirty. I mean, I don't know what word I'm trying to say. So I like them to be more just, not just the plain paper, but I do like to, you know, do my backgrounds, my dyed backgrounds and things like that. So, but I've been watching Lydia at February and June, and I'm really loving her journals, and I know that she uses all these little extras. I also wasn't, when I first got back into journaling this past year, after taking that, okay, why is that not, it's wanting to tear, not where I want it to tear. There we go. I just had to give it some encouragement. So anyway, just until I got my groove back, I really felt the need to have very similar pages, same size, just to keep it simple. But I love the look of all the extras in there. And yeah, you can just tip them in and stuff like that. You don't have to put them in the beginning. You know, you don't have to do that. Now this one doesn't have a picture on it. Put this one in the back. But, so I kept it very simple and clean, meaning simple. That's the word I'm looking for. Yes, that's the word. Simple. So I stuck to my, you know, my plain white paper that I really like because I can use most of my markers on it and they don't bleed or anything like that. And so I don't have to think, when I use those, I don't have to think about, other than maybe inking a background or something like that, I don't have to think that much about my pages. So that was much easier for me to do while I was getting reacclimated to journaling. So, all right, I have, these are just extras, but they'll be, you know, they'll fit down in the journal. So you'll have one somewhere in the beginning of the book and one somewhere in the back. I'm still going to keep it to one signature. Okay, let me put these together. These are extras. They're not in my page count. This one might be, and it might not be. No, I don't think I'm going to put this one in my page count, but I do need to tear it down. Let's see. I need it to be no more than 9. I may just have to cut it. I don't know if I really want to try tearing that like that. And I probably could have folded it up, but because it had so many other folds, I didn't want to risk. Does that make sense? Having a folded page and then folded here and here and here. So, like this one will go, I will sew it in here. Not right next to that one, but this will be an extra little piece of a page. This one could count as a whole page. But this, you know what this one would be good for if you covered it, would be, it'd be a great size for your collage calendar. So I'm going to put that one over there with the extras. This is a very brittle page. I'm not sure I want to use it. I was going through, I was cleaning out the spare room, because my daughter's coming soon. This is already torn. I wish I had some just regular, masking tape. I like the neutral color of the masking tape. Let's see, that makes that about 8.5. I could even make it a little shorter. So if I do that right there, and I could cut a little slit right here and make it like fold outs. Let me fold this in half first. There we go. I'm gonna have to take that, maybe some washi or something like that. You know what? This is 2 pieces of paper. Uh-oh, see, I just tore it again. Oh, looky here. Okay, well, that's even better. I need to go ahead and tape that. And where else is it torn? Oh, I guess that is the tear. And I'm gonna need to reinforce. Wow, words are hard today. All right. Let me see. I'm going to use, because this is a kind of a browner page, I have this Tim Holtz fabric washi. I'm going to use, these are some of my more neutral colors. That one actually would probably go well. These are a little bit wider and neutral. I like those. Okay, and they're a little wider. I also have some like wood grain washi. Man, I keep hitting all my stuff. Okay, so I'm going to use this one, to reinforce this spine right here. Now this paper is going to be way too wide. I gotta stand up. Maybe I won't bump the... I try not to make, in my daily journal, part of that clean and simple, it also doesn't include much vintage, because I like all my bright colors in my journal. So this page is stretching it for me a little bit. Okay, and then we have, it's also very flimsy. I'm really wondering if I really want to use it. I might save it for an actual junk journal because I am going to be making one of those very soon. But I still need to, I mean, every time I move it, I tear it. So, yeah, I'm thinking it doesn't need to be in my daily. Darn it. It's cute too, but it is so fragile. What do you think? Yeah, see, I keep tearing. Every time I touch it, I tear it. Okay, we're going to pass on this one for the moment. Even though we already did all that to it. There's just no way it's going to be. Okay, here we go. It's not going to survive. Pull off. These are some of my, these are just some book pages that I rolled off my brayer when I was gel printing. I just wanted some solid colors, or, you know, sort of solid. So if I tape these together, now I could use this bright pink for this one. Sure, why not? Although, oh, I know what I do have. I have that. No, I'll just use this bright pink. These are bright pages, so it'll be fine. This takes longer to do, obviously. Whereas if you're just cutting down scrapbook paper, or if you are, oh, the backs aren't, that's all right. This is not that old of a book either. Wait, did I finish that last sentence? No. Probably not, because I never do. Oh, I was just talking about it taking longer. You know, it takes longer to make your pages like this. Whereas when I just used my white papers, or if you're just cutting down scrapbook paper, it doesn't take quite as long. But I thought it might be fun to do something a little different this month. Sort of a little bit of a messier May, maybe. Okay, so I'm just rocking and rolling. I got one page and some extras, right? So how long have we been doing this? Now what is the dimensions on this? 8. And then I need it to be no more than 9. So I'm going to fold that there. That's not going to make much of a pocket, so I might just cut those or tear them right there. I mean, I could, nope, that made it 9.5. I need a little bit more. Okay, so then I could even go up to like 8.5. That's still going to be pretty tall. I mean, it's, you know, pretty good height-wise. But if you haven't done a junk journal yet, or you haven't done your daily journal this way yet, it might, you know, it's kind of fun to experiment with some stuff. Like I said, it takes longer. But you have to cut down your papers. Let me see if I made that the right height. Yeah, it's just under 9, and that's just under 9. So I'm going to put, well, I was going to put the raggedy sides together, but, well, I still can. I just will have, no, I'm actually putting the, make up your mind, woman, make up your mind. Don't want to tape the pockets for sure. So, I don't want to use, let's use this one again. This one just kind of have, it's not going to keep the vintage vibe that I have going, because I'm going to be covering these. But keeping with neutral tape is going to let me oop, I separated them a little bit. It's going to let me just kind of can't get my scissors. There we go. It's not going to lock me in on a color, is what I was trying to say. Okay, I'm going to bump this one back down. Except I think I just made the pages too long again, or too tall. Yeah, I did. Okay. I need to lose that little bit of washi right there. There we go. That should be right. And before I sew them in, I can decide whether I want them to flip, you know, one way or the other. But I do need to put another washi down this side, I do believe. So again, this takes longer. I need 16 pages. We are going to stop doing this, and then we're going to cut down some scrapbook paper. And then I might have to finish the pages part off camera. There we go. And then these pages will fold in like this maybe. Let me see how wide that made that. 5.5. That'll be fine. And then I'll need to do something different with that pocket right there. But I will make that. Oh, I folded that really wonky. Okay, that counts as a page. Yay, 2 pages. Woohoo! I do have some of this book paper. I do want to use some of this. Oh, I just tore it. It is the right height. I think I measured it, and it should be about the right height. It's right at 9 inches. And then it's just going to be a little long on that, so I'm going to have to fold in about 1 inch. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could cut this. And I might have to now that I tore that, but I'm going to attempt to do this. Okay. But, you know, the color of the washi that you use, is, what I was saying earlier, is by using neutral washis, I'm not locking myself into a color. This way, this is going to have bright pink on it. It's like a neon pink. So, you know, that's going to brighten up these pages a little bit more, which is fine with me. I just wanted some variety this month. And I have plenty of these book pages. And if your tape isn't even, don't sweat it. See, like right there, because they're gonna be on different pages. They're not gonna be right next to each other, right? And then these will get folded in about like so. In or out, it doesn't matter. You can change your mind on that later, but for the sake of ease, I'm going to fold them in. There. Okay. And then this ledger paper, if I use it, I'm just going to use it like this. And just fold it. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's how you, if you did not know that already, I know a lot of you do this. But if you didn't know that already, that's how you can put your papers together. You just, I think some people have a name for it or whatever, but, you know, it's just taping them together. And this ledger paper is very thin, so I might need to reinforce that with something. But you can either use tape, or I could have used more book page. So we have 4 pages. How are we doing on time? We need to hurry, hurry, hurry. And I need to stop this video. Now, this one is, I definitely want to use, definitely like this one. And I need to, I'm going to cut these. I'm not going to fold them. I can add the pockets later. This has a little bit of a branding strip on the top, but it's not perforated. I do not remember which pads I got these out of. They were not anything, anything special. Like one was one I got at Dollar General. They're just thin papers. So that definitely is easier. I think I want to use this polka dot. So I'm just cutting them down to 9 inches, which cuts off a 3-inch strip. And then I definitely want to use one of the yellow ones. Like that. So this part goes much easier, or much quicker. So I'm going to stop, well, I'm going to fold these, and then I'm going to stop, and I will pick back up in a part 2. And if you want me to keep going with the papers, I can, or part 2 can just be sewing in the signature. I hope I can still get away with one signature. We'll see. So, and then we have some nice scraps that we can use for pockets or whatever later. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to use some scrapbook paper this time. I need some scraps. I know, right? Am I the only one that doesn't have scraps? I have scraps. I don't like my scraps. I want new scraps. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we need 16. So I will pick back up in the next video and then show you how I put them together, and then we'll sew it in and all the fun stuff, okay? Let me know in the comments which ribbon that you liked better, if you remember now. That was so long ago. But, and yeah, which ribbon on the cover. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for spending your time with me. Bye-bye.